This is a garden walk. I'll have to date it, but it's late August. We're not gonna go too far. I've had trouble with my feet and stuff, and it's not even 11 o'clock and it's already 92. It's gonna be over 100 today. Like it's been over 100 every day, every day, every day. As long as it doesn't get to 110, we're saying it's not even that bad. There's my trumpet vines. This is one of the things that y'all can have a start. Like, I think there might be one down here somewhere. Yeah, that's a little one right there popping up. On into the fall when it's not too hot to ship, I can dig them up and stick them in like a priority mailbox or something, and in a plastic bag with some, maybe a rag around the roots or something. It should get to you okay. I don't charge for any of this stuff. It's all just you pay the postage. I'll send you a trumpet vine. This is the main thing I came out to show you. These are zucchinis, and you can see some cantaloupes, and there's some watermelons in the back row there. For various reasons, this all got started a little late. The game plan here is soaker hose, landscape fabric on top of that, mulch on the landscape fabric to keep it keeps it cool, it keeps the ground cool, prevents sunlight from deteriorating the landscape fabric, which is polypropylene, and hopefully it'll last like 10 years, which I may not. So this stuff stays down. This first row was here last year, but when I went in the hospital and my buddy was watering and he didn't realize that you've got to soak the hell out of these things to keep them alive. And so we had some dying off, but he did me a lot of help, and now we've got some new stuff coming up. He said he's seen some zooks on here somewhere. Squashes. That I'm not actually running that little spinning sprinkler. You can get those on eBay for like $4 if you find them on sale. I forget it's some guy's name. It's kind of a plastic piece of crap, but it has a really nice spray pattern. And it's a spinner, and it's the pretty circles of the water and all that. It's a nice little doodad. Back in the back, that's where there were turnips, and there was just into the shade there was like 6, maybe 8 feet of wheat. And I got about like 30 pounds of that, I think, or maybe not that much, I don't know, 20 pounds. But it's organic whole wheat. It's really easy to grow. I think we spent about 2 man-hours on cutting it. If you had a scythe and if your back would let you swing it, you could put the stuff down pretty quick. I used an electric garden chipper, but I just fed everything through it, and then I screened out the big stuff and poured it poured it from container to container in the breeze. I think I had to use a fan this last time, and then that blows all the little chaff away, and you can eat chaff anyway. So that makes a pretty good. So I'm just trying to get you a nice view down the row. They should have looked like this a month ago. Lots of things should be, right, P? This is our guide, Poquito. He watches out for, I don't know exactly what, but if anything's going on, he'll find it. He won't let the squirrels attack us while we're filming. That over there, I'm not going to go over to show it to you. It's what we're calling the barn, because my buddy doesn't want to just call it a shed, but he's been working hard on it. It's got my table saw in there. I finally got a table saw after I'm almost too old to even be able to use the damn thing, but boy, those are nice. Just Stuff like splitting 1x4s and getting little strips of wood for, nailing things up. Yeah, so that's where my sawdust messes are going to be now. Back there, I got a workbench. Everything's made out of old crap. The barn was an old thing that some guys built probably 40, 50 years ago. And Donnie took it all apart for me and brought it over here. And I've done that. I used to be a carpenter, so I could do all that work, but I can't see where I'm cutting unless I have reading glasses and all kinds of other things that you don't give a damn about. Or if you do, that's nice of you, but there's nothing you can do. This is a cantaloupe for sure, and you can see he's doing very well. Those blooms should lead to fruit being set. We don't get tomatoes here because some people have some success with cherry tomatoes. But the big nice ones, no. These are stalks of sunflowers over here. And that's like just lawn clippings you can see from this lawn up here. This is some lawn over here, lawn over there. And there's the wellhead spring. We're supposed to be fixing that pretty soon. But it gets so hot. So if he gets himself going early in the morning, he can work on that stuff. But you let it go until 10 or 11 and it's already too hot and it's out in the sun and I was getting sick all the time. And it's just come to, I'm pretty sure we have some climate change here. It's just getting to, these summers are just grueling, always were. And now it's like a whole, the 100 days with like maybe one or two that aren't 100 or more. And there's one's over 110 to make up for them. So like our average daytime high for this like 3 months and then some is, over 100. Here's the succulents. I've lost them, a lot of them from, I guess, just getting fried. And some of them, I know these didn't get watered while I was in the hospital, and bam, a bunch of them went. This group here of these 9 were really nice. I put them out over here because I thought they'd do better without being so, the greenhouse is so hot. This guy had like 6 or 8 little shoots coming out. But they maybe will hang on, I don't know. I can't grow the big fat leaf succulents that can really take the heat because they don't take the frost. We had a whole day of 10 degrees in the daytime this past winter, so that kind of canceled out a lot of stuff. There are things alive in this little wasteland, but they're not admitting it. Or where that chair is, there was some perennials, and I don't know how much of all that. There might be some of them that are still down there, roots under the ground, somehow surviving. I got some there's one of them, Crane's Bill geraniums. That's that thing with the serrated edge leaf, the round ones that they look like saw blades kind of. I don't know, they're supposed to be drought resistant, and I do water them, but they're supposed to be salt tolerant, but I don't seem to like the gypsum water that much. Nothing does. So you're kind of, it's one thing that I guess if I've got something to leave with this, this is outdoor cooking so you don't smell up and heat up the house. This thing with the landscape fabric is really good because I just couldn't keep up with the weeds anymore, and now I have, like, you could figure each one of those plants that's over there has a 6 foot by 3 foot, or 2 foot or 3 foot space that it occupies, and there's only like a 4-inch hole where I put the seeds through, and that's it. And so it means there's very little places for a weed to grow. And that's all keeping the water in too. I can't cultivate there, but since I don't walk in the rows themselves, hopefully at least it doesn't compact. Mexican lilac, this is a good plant. Used to have a big patch of them. My neighbor started them from cuttings. There's one over there that's not been taken care of very well. Got 6 or 8 of them over here, I think. We mowed, and Donnie didn't know when he was mowing where some of them were, so they got cut. But this Johnson grass was 6 feet high, so it's difficult to work around it. It's just, and this is a lantana here. This is one of the 2 varieties. The other one is an orange. These guys are not native, but they might as well be. Hard to get them started, but the birds don't seem to have any trouble doing it. I've saved seeds and nothing came of it. That's a thing I call a super daisy over there next to that lamb's quarters. It's like a butter daisy or something like that. It's a big annual. That's another one I've got seeds for. If there's not very many seeds this year, I will still probably have, like at least a handful, so I can send people like, maybe I don't know, 100 or something of them in an envelope. It only costs about $1 to ship them. And if you basically, if you get a couple of them going, you'll be able to have a lot. They take the heat pretty well, but they do need some water. So I guess we've walked. I'm getting back under my air conditioner my doctor let me use, and keeping from getting sick from the heat. I guess I can't take it anymore. I used to be, it gets 100 in the house without the AC, and I used to be able to take that, but I just felt like crap after I got out of the hospital this last time, so I guess I just can't handle that much heat anymore. I keep it down to like 80. He's always got something to do, Mr. P. Don't you have something to do, Mr. P? Mr. P, Mr. P, Poquito, Quito, Quito. Poquito, what you doing? He's a good little guy. He is really a good little guy.